Church of Pentecost in Belgium, I planted more than 14 assemblies. Church of Pentecost in Australia was my initiative. Answer your question accurately, I have planted more than 70. When I came here as a missionary, I was using bicycle. Sometimes she would sit at the back of the bicycle and hold my waist. And that brings some appetite before the night. If I'm able to marry for 28 without no one settle our issue, not a minute. They never saw us in the house quarrel, but we do. Even if I offended her, she will keep quiet.
Hello viewers, it is my pleasure to welcome you once again to a brand new episode of Footprints here on Soulhour TV. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a very new guest. Well, as you can see, our set has also been renewed, which means everything is new. It's a brand new year with brand new ideas, fresh thoughts. And with that said, today our interview is going to be extraordinary because I'm going to interview a man that is very well known in our community. He has done so many things in our community that I think if I attempt to actually say this by heart, I will make a mistake. So, without any ado, I would like to read a little bit from his profile so you get an impression of the kind of personality that we're going to be having today. Well, of course, our guest for today is none other than Reverend Emmanuel Koney. He was born in Ghana, Accra to be precise, where he also educated, where he got his education and then later on relocated to the Netherlands in the 1980s. Reverend Koney is a trained pastor, missionary, licensed counselor, and minister of religion. He is also a visionary, conference speaker, teacher, trainer who has traveled widely. Reverend Emmanuel Koney was also instrumental in the planting of several churches across Europe. He serves as the national coordinator for the Church of Pentecost in the Netherlands from the 1980 till 1990 to be precise, till 1995, and was later moved to Belgium where he served in the capacity of the national coordinator for the Church of Pentecost. In the year 2000, Pastor Emmanuel Koney founded the Pentecost Revival Church International, which he serves till date. Well, I think I will stop right here so that you can find out more about our guest as we get to talk to him. Stay tuned. Hello, Pastor, and thank you very much for sitting down with me today. Today is the first time I'm interviewing anybody after a very long time, so I'm very excited to do this interview, and I feel very, very, very blessed to have you as my first guest. So thank you very much for making time to sit with us. I think we will just go straight to the interview. But first, I would like to ask, for the people who do not know, and even for myself, if you could explain to us what is the difference or what is exactly the definition of a reverend and what is a pastor?
It is all title and it depends on the denomination. But in the nutshell, the mainline churches like Methodist, Catholic, Presby, Anglican, they quite use reverend, and the Pentecostals normally use pastor. But along the line, because it is a terminology and title, if you are on the secular word, they acknowledge, because the mainline churches start early, they acknowledge the word reverend. In the nutshell, the Pentecostals, a pastor is a shepherd. Recently, you have here people even choose, let me use the charismatic they now have bishops. In the Bible, a bishop is a deacon or an elder. That is the translation of a bishop. They use it as their ranking. Now they have moved from bishop to archbishop. If you go to Catholic, they have the Pope, the Archbishop, they have the Bishop, and then they come to the Father. In Pentecostalism, because I'm a Pentecostal, we normally call the hells, or like the national head, apostle, or someone who is on a high position as apostle. And that is the highest rank. And sometimes when they join the national head movement, they have apostles, evangelists. The pastors are the district pastors. Some of the national heads are also pastors, but it became a terminology. Assemblies of God are general superintendent.
Okay.
They don't call like Reverend or Pastor. Their hierarchy is general superintendent. So when you're a national head, they call you general superintendent. I can just answer by dictionary definition. It doesn't mean that is the rare definition.
Yes.
It is just a title.
It's just a title.
But in a nutshell, Pentecostal prefer to be called as a pastor.
As a pastor.
As a pastor. But a reverend means somebody who have grown in the ministry and he deserves to be honored as one. So we enter, like calling a politician honorable.
Yeah.
So you call a pastor a reverend.
Okay, interesting. At least that gives me and also the viewers a clear understanding as to when to use a pastor and when to refer. Is it okay if I then refer to you as Reverend?
Yes,
Emmanuel.
yes, it's allowed.
Koney.
Yes,
that's allowed?
yes, yes,
okay,
yes.
and you would also not be offended if I was to call you pastor?
No, I'm never going offended. Okay. When I'm in the prison preaching, because of the certificate for you to preach for justice, they interpret from dominate to be a reverend. So they title you Reverend. You can see in the Dutch press, always they introduce my name as a Reverend.
Yeah, okay. Then I think we will also follow suit and actually stay with the Reverend, because it sounds also much nicer. Reverend Emmanuel Koney.
Like calling a politician honorable.
Honorable.
Yeah.
So you arrived here in the 1980s. Can you share with me some of the difficulties or challenges that you faced once you arrived here?
Those days, I think the first generation who came to the Netherlands are those who came in school. And those who came in the early 1981, 82, 83, some are political asylum, some are economic refugees. We really have a culture shock, because those days you will find a lot of Ghanaians here. You will find a lot of Surinamese, or a lot of culture shock. Some of them, we thought we could go back. The weather is one. The first culture shock I had, it is extremely, I don't know how to describe it, but with persistence I was able to sustain myself. So a lot of culture shock. Things that we call love, I realized that the Dutch call insults. The way I find my wife is like, maybe, being introduced, you just see a lady, you say, hello, baby. The same sign that I do, if you could have done it to a Dutch lady, hello, baby, it's like you are calling a dog. That lady will slap you. So what I call love, to the Dutch, is an insult. My culture, being a Ghana, we respected the elderly. So in the nutshell, if you see a great man talking to you, even if he's a young man and he have a gray hair, you don't look highball to highball. You show a sign of respect by bowing down your head. And I realize here, what I call respect, the Dutch call insult and the suspect, especially the Dutch police. If they are talking to you and you can't look to their eyes, highball to highball, you are suspect immediately. So these are some of the culture shocks.
Okay. Well, then we will then take another step back, because if we were to go back to how your life was in Ghana, are there any memories that you would like to share with us?
Oh, yes. Those days I loved football. When I became a born again, I was spirit-filled. I preached. I remember those days I wake up early in the morning, preach, dawn broadcast. And one experience that I have, one lady thought I was behind the door shouting too much about Jesus, Jesus, and he couldn't take it. He threw water on me. So it's one of the experiences I had. I was born to the church. My parents were Christians. So I couldn't have any scars in my legs.
Okay.
But yet, as a young man, there are certain challenges that you face. And I was facing them the same way. I love fighting. You know, we guns, I love fighting.
Is that really a God thing?
Oh, yeah. Where we are, because we are near, my house was near the beach. So we use it as a game. We go to the beach and then exercise our muscles.
Okay.
And then we'll give you a trophy when you win one. In my time, nobody was able to conquer me.
I was about to ask you, when you said it, I was about to ask, did you ever win any?
No, I was winning all the time. If you ask my peers, none of them was able to finish me.
Oh my days.
The champion in my days.
Well.
Until the Lord arrested me, then all those exercises we put in.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, before you even came here to the Netherlands, you were already into the work of God.
Yes, please. Yes,
okay.
Please.
So, whenever we speak about a man of God, there is this idea behind it was it a calling? Or did you just desire to work for God? In your case, what was it? Would you consider it to be a calling? Or was it just that you desired?
Oh, yes. My case, it was a calling. But I belong to a denomination like Church of Pentecost. Church of Pentecost is well-organized church. It is established very well in Ghana. I was a member in the Sophia Makio Temple. But I have the passion because I realized that some of my mates who travel to the West, when they return, their moral fabric is quite far away from those of us who are in Ghana. And I remember some of the sisters that I know, we all belong to Labari Christian Fellowship, who are on fire. When they came to Europe, they joined jobs I can't mention on TV. And I have the passion to win them back to the gospel. So that was the initiative that brought me. That is why I'm a missionary. So in my case, I'm called and confirmed by Church of Pentecost.
Okay, well, that is great. But I mean, did you come to the Netherlands with the intention that you're coming here to preach the word of God, or you came in the search of greener pastures like all the other?
No, my passion is for the gospel. And like what I said, I realized that a lot of Ghanaians were going to the diaspora. The majority was them were going to Germany and Holland.
Yes.
And after they have arrived, their life and their moral fabric just start changing. So I have the passion because I know a lot of them because I belong to the Sophia Makio Temple. They went through Libya after they recruit them for the oil refinings, Gaddafi time from the ministries. So a lot of my mates went there, and those who returned from Nigeria also came. And their lifestyle was not pleased when they returned back. Yeah. So I choose to come and evangelize them and bring them back to the gospel. Okay. My mission is, and I realized that the native and the indigenous of the Netherlands and the West, they brought us the gospel. But when you check their profile, those days in the 80s, it seemed like Holland is becoming that continent. The gospel they brought to us, it seemed like when you are here, you don't see them having personal relationship with the Lord. So the passion I have, the first thing in my mind, being here, preach the gospel, bring people back to God, and let hell be empty and heaven be full.
Amen. Amen to that. We hope that is what is going to happen in the end.
It has already happened.
Glory be to God.
We are still in the vineyard winning souls.
When we talk about men of God as well, we then automatically start thinking of the planting of churches. Now, when we talk about planting of churches, how many churches have you helped or planted yourself in the Netherlands and outside?
On my profile, it will be more than 70 churches I have planted. And those that I've helped, I can count them. In Church of Pentecost in Holland, the whole Church of Pentecost in Holland, I planted them all. Church of Pentecost in Belgium. I planted more than 14 assemblies in Belgium, from Brussels, Ternant, Ghent, Antwerp, all the branches of Church of Pentecost. Church of Pentecost in Australia was my initiative. Church of Pentecost in Austria was my initiative. So it means that those ones, when the early ones that started in Germany and all that, we were being sent to go and help. And I really appreciate that it is by the grace that help us. So to answer your question accurately, I have planted more than 70 churches.
More than 70 churches. Wow. That is very, very, very impressive. So what you do, you plant the church, because here, as you were saying, the Church of Pentecost here in the Netherlands, you're the one that started it.
Yes.
So you just started on your own?
There's no Church of Pentecost here. I started it in my house.
In your house?
And by that time I had 1 bedroom and a hall. So I started the prayer meetings in my house, and it grew to be a mega church.
It grew to be a mega church. But how did you get recognition from the Church of Pentecost, let's say the ones back in Ghana?
Because I was a member, and the chairman and then is Prophet McHugh, and my wife, my late wife, was also working at the head office as a secretary to the secretary. Okay. So it means all the top hierarchy of Church of Pentecost were in my inner circle.
Yes. So it was, I think you were blessed like that.
Yeah, I was blessed like that.
You were just blessed like that. Just given the opportunity and you just took it and you did that. We're very
by the grace.
Yeah, and we're very thankful that you did, because if not, I'm sure some people at home would not even have a church to attend to. So it is very good that
and we were able, those days, we were able also to buy the Kempering 58. 2 years time I paid it off. In the name of the church, not in the name of my daughters, like others said. Because since we left, it's about 14, 15 years now, and my daughters have no home. I bought it in the name of Church of Pentecost.
In the name of the church.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the Lord will bless you for
not
that.
only that, in Belgium, I did it for the Lord. I'm so pleased that irrespective of everything, we still have the affiliation.
Yes.
I still have very good contact with Church of Pentecost. The current chairman has been my own man. We are good friends,
Yeah. Okay. So with a personality like yours, do you have any motto or a personal motto that you use to guide yourself in life?
Oh yes, yes. I'm someone, when I choose to have passion for something, I go for it. And passion is endless enthusiasm. So immediately the calling came. I have passion for humanity. And with that passion, these are the things that guides me.
Yeah.
Identity. Those of you who knows me, anything I'm organizing, I use African wear. I'm proud to be a Ghanaian. So that is my identity. The same thing applies to Martin Luther King Jr. The same thing applies to Nelson Mandela. And with the passion, you get the identity. And with the identity, like Martin Luther, I have a dream. Nelson Mandela, I want apartheid to stop. My passion is you first have that identity, and with the identity, you take initiative. From the initiative, commitment will come, and the results are coming. That is why I'm able to plant more than 70 churches, irrespective of all the challenges that is happening.
Yeah, well, I think those three words that Pastor or Reverend just said are 3 words that I think every individual watching this program today should take notes, which is identity, initiative,
commitment.
Oh, yes, and then commitment, and then comes results. So actually it's 4 words.
Yes, please.
4 words. Identity, initiative, commitment, and then comes results. With with the combination of the 4 words, I think you're then guaranteed for success. So
definitely.
I think yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The results will come.
Definitely.
Immediately you take the initiative and you are committed to it, irrespective of the challenges. The result will be there.
Yeah. So, Reverend, when we talk about the kingdom business of God, what exactly does that entail? The
kingdom business of God is to win souls for Christ. to propagate the gospel, we should talk about his birth, his death, and his resurrection. Majority of our preaching now is changing, but that is the kingdom business, soul winning. And it should be something that will be part and parcel of every church. Our mission statement to focus on soul winning, and that is the kingdom business.
That's the kingdom business, okay. Because that's the field that you are also in.
No, that is my field, but that is the great commission from our Master, our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes, for us to win souls.
To win souls for Him.
Yes. Well, I guess with this, we've all found out what our task should be on this earth as we live, before we leave and meet our Maker, which is to win souls for the Lord.
Yes.
Very well. So, for your observation, I mean, what would you say are the present day's challenges that the youth are facing? That, I mean, it seems that most of them are falling. How should I say? They are just losing the path.
They are going wayward.
Yes. What do you think is the reason behind this?
Child delinquencies, especially, let me focus on Holland and Amsterdam specifically. It is because of our relationship with the authorities, you hear certain news. I believe it is the system. I believe it is the system. Where we were coming from, it is, you are being fathered by all. Every father in the community, you are a child to. But here, it seems like the responsibility is being laid only on your parents, and those parents who also have two jobs who are not there to take responsibility to guide their child. And I believe parenting, fatherhood is lifetime. In my community, if you are a child those days and you are misbehaving, an elderly person, even if he is elderly than maybe the age difference is 2 years or 3 years, will make sure to discipline you.
Yes.
Here, those things are not allowed. Number two, the first offenders, when they make mistakes, they blacklisted them. They don't have a second chance. And that also, kill their potentials and skills that they have in them. Because I believe human beings sometimes can make a mistake. 3, the community itself, the fathers and the mothers, sometimes our priorities are not right. And we must take that responsibility. And I believe that is the reason why some of these youth, some are doing well, and we want them to do better. But others are also now going wayward to extreme, and we should have preventive measures to prevent them to the top 600. Because now they are first offenders. If we don't do something to bring the parents and the youth together to share a dialogue and make sure we tackle the problem from the roots, I believe in the near future we will regret having our children here.
Well, that is a great advice, and I hope that people or parents and viewers at home will take this advice, which is actually paying more attention to the upbringing of the children before they even get out of that. So, Reverend, with regards to articles, books, and things like that, as a man of God, have you written any books that some of us, the young ones, could actually read so that we can get some of these wisdom that you are sharing with me now? Or is this something that you plan to do in the future?
Wonderful. To be honest, Jesus did not write any books.
No.
He didn't have even one. And I have, if you go on Facebook every week, I have some articles for the church. I've written some syllabus. My final thesis in Pentecost University, they are now using it for their syllabus as the women role in the church. Because Pentecost do not allow the women in the role. So they use my final thesis as their syllabus. Personally, the trend of the church, now you go to certain conferences and you see people selling books. Before they will even preach the word of God, they will sell 20 books, and that discouraged me. I have syllabus. I have one that I've written, the Visionary Reader, and those ones I give for free. I don't tell them as the syllabus the church leadership use. I wrote them and all those, but I'm not selling them.
You're not selling them, but they are available.
They are available
for everyone who is in need of that. Yes. Okay.
Sometimes you can get some of them on Facebook. Now I'm busy treating the subject of love. So every week I put those articles on the Facebook of Pentecost Revival.
Okay.
Every week. Monday you will see them there. It's the lengthy articles that I do every week. Okay. And I was the one who critique things that are happening, and then I bring the article out.
Interesting. So, Reverend, with your job, or at least the position that you are in as a man of God, you travel a lot, you do a lot of public speaking, other engagements and events that people actually invite you to come and minister to them. So your life is quite busy. How do you balance this? How do you balance everything?
I've already told you I have passion for what I do.
Yes.
And because of the passion, the definition of passion is endless enthusiasm. So you keep on doing it, you keep on doing it. And that is how I get my energy. I don't take any medication, I don't use any pills, but always I have strength and energy, and I'm grateful. That is the reason why I don't see them as a busy task on me, but I see them as, hey, this is my responsibility, and the passion that I have for it, I should go for it and make sure it is done and done properly.
Okay. So, Reverend, with the many things that you are doing, is philanthropy one of them?
Yes, please.
Okay,
yes,
can you elaborate a little bit more?
You can see, like the candler, people normally comes to the candler, and those who are poor, we help them. Those who, I don't like that word illegal. So I do help legal, I do help undocumented people. Anyone that comes to me, if you're a human being, irrespective of your belief, whether you are atheist, whether you are from Buddhism, whether you are Muslim, for the fact that you are qualified to be a human being, if you knock on my door for assistance, I will grant you one.
You will grant them one. That is very gracious of you.
And it doesn't matter the hour, the time. I'm open. My phones don't go off unless maybe I travel from the nation. Because when you travel, then it will become international calls.
Okay.
But I open my phone 24/7. So you can call me anytime if you need my assistance. And that is the reason why I'm there for humanity.
Yes, but that is also why you are a man of God, I think. Yes.
Not because I'm a man of God. There are some men of God who are not doing social work. There are some. And the passion should be there.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of men of God in this society. Maybe they would think, why should a pastor do police dialogue? You see? They will criticize it even on radio and TV, fight against it, because they don't see the essence of bringing the community, building a bridge between the community and the police. And the police cannot they can't police the community without the community.
Yes, that's true. But I think with regards to the police dialogue, we will touch on it at a later stage. But before we go for a break, do you have any personal goals, any other thing professionally that you would like to accomplish?
Oh yes.
For the years to come?
Yes. Now I have planted more than 70, and my goal is to make sure if we can evangelize the whole city of Amsterdam, evangelize the whole nation of Holland, and evangelize the whole world to propagate the gospel. And this is my vision before Christ comes. Because I don't wish anyone to perish. I want all to be in heaven, where we will rejoice. And I believe in life after death. I'm not a Sadducee, I'm not a Pharisee, I'm not Essenes. I am spirit-filled believer. So I believe I have a resurrected life. If I die today, I know I'm going to meet my Maker. But he says he will charge us. And the judge between me And those that I convert, I need to give them a sound word of God.
Yes.
And it is my passion that no soul should perish. Everybody should know Christ as their personal Savior and have a personal relationship with the Lord. These days, you hear people talking about the church, its organization, and the church. The church is not organization. To be honest, I will be honest, a Pentecostal church or Pentecostalism is not organization. Christianity is not organization. Christianity is your personal relationship with the Lord. There is organism in it. Mm-hmm. There is life in it. Organization don't have life, but organism have life. And the life that we have, Christ dwells in us. And that is the hope of glory that we have. The terror that terrifies people by night will never terrify me. I have a hope that I have conquered fear. And this hope I want to give to the world. And that is my vision.
Well, thank you very much, Pastor, so far. Viewers, I'm sure you've been enjoying the interview so far. We're just going to take a quick break. We will come back to you soon so you can enjoy more of Reverend Emmanuel Koney. Thank you very much and stay tuned right here on Soulhour TV.
In Holland, I planted them all. At the Church of Pentecost in Belgium, I planted more than 14 assemblies. Church of Pentecost in Australia was my initiative. Answer your question accurately, I have planted more than 70. When I came here as a missionary, I was using bicycle. Sometimes she would sit at the back of the bicycle and hold my waist. And that brings some appetite before the night. If I'm able to marry for 28 without no one settle our issue, not a minute. They never saw us in the house quarrel, but we do. Even if I offended her, she will keep quiet.
Hello viewers, welcome back to this renewed episode of Footprints right here on Soulhour TV. Our guest today, like I said, is a man of many talents and credentials. He is a visionary, a conference speaker, a teacher, he's a trainer, he's a licensed counselor, minister of religions, and so many more. And I'm talking of none other than Reverend Emmanuel Koney. We've been having an interesting time with him so far, so we're going to continue right where we left off, and I hope you will enjoy this second segment of this interview slot. Now, Pastor Koney, we are going to talk about the family life. Yes. So tell me, how does the family life look like? How is it for you, you are a father with 3 children, and you have all these other responsibilities. How do you combine all of these, and how does the home really look like?
Awesome. Awesome. I'm a father. At the same time, I'm a mother, and I have 3 children. My first daughter is now getting to 25 years. She's a medical doctor from Fume. My second daughter, Eunice, is also trying to be. My son, Junior, is also called Emmanuel Koney, Junior. I asked him if he can be a pastor. He said no, he will be a businessman. And I said, why? He said he doesn't like stress. I said, okay, no problem. You can. I didn't know he was watching me, made sometimes a lot of stress. I don't know where that is coming from. I said, well, you can be a businessman and at the same time be a pastor. So we are getting there.
We are getting there.
All of them are in the house. So I'm using your terminology.
We are getting
this one of your jargons. We are getting there.
We are getting there. Slowly but surely we will get there.
Yeah. They are in the house and I cherish them. Lovely children, supportive, law-abiding, disciplined, focused, loyal, and faithful.
Yes. And as you said, you are a mother as well.
Yes.
And it's not a secret in the community.
About 5 years ago, after the demands of my wife, let me take this opportunity once again to thank the community. The love, the community show was awesome. And it keep on ringing in my ears. And I cherish it so much. And I realize Ghanaians, we really love each other. My wife demands didn't bring Ghanaians alone. You saw Dutch policemen, commissioners of police, and it was awesome.
That's awesome.
But it is a vacuum. If I have a chance to marry again, I will marry her.
You will remarry and remarry the same woman. Oh, glory be to God for that. I mean, that's good to know. And
we were married for 28 years. And in the 28 years, so if she could have been alive by now, it means we are married for 33 years, because this is now 5 years. And along the 28 years, I can boldly say, I'm difficult to live with, but he was able, I have a different temperament. She is more mature to handle my temperament. And people who knows us when she was alive, they thought we are brothers and sisters. But no, that is my wife.
That's your wife, yes.
Very submissive, loving and caring, honest, loyal, a woman of substance, a virtuous woman.
So she is that Proverbs 31 woman. Yes, you found yours.
I found all.
She do all.
Absolutely all. And she has been a help to my ministry, and I really realize it after her demands.
Yes.
She's a great woman.
She was a
Charity, may her soul rest in peace.
Yes. And once again, my condolences as well.
Thank you.
And I mean, for the viewers at home, especially our fathers and brothers, as you can hear, the way Pastor even talks about his beloved wife, I hope most of us will learn also from this and actually treat and talk about our wives the same way as Pastor just did. Now, Pastor, aside from your personal experience, you are also a marriage counselor.
Yeah.
You've blessed so many marriages and counseled so many couples also into marriage. What do you consider to be the best, or at least a good recipe for a successful and sound marriage? Yes.
Good. Recently, it seems divorce is rampant. And because I'm a man of God, I will pick it from the perspective of the Bible. And I believe in the Bible. You know, that is one of the tenets. It is on our mission statement. We believe in the Bible. God hates divorce.
Yes.
The concept of secular marriages is like putting on a t-shirt. If you don't like, they throw and put another one. What God hates, I hate. The reason why the moral fabric of marriages is broken, number one, most people who enter into marriage, especially Christians, they call themselves Christians while they are not Christians. Because when you are Christians, you should believe in the totality of the Word of God.
Yes.
Number two, they don't have love. Number three, loyalty and integrity is not there.
No.
And these are the foundation of every relationship. It doesn't matter. Everywhere I go and I travel to, whether my wife is there or she is not there, she knows definitely I won't make any mistake. The trust is there.
Yes.
The same thing applies to her. But recently, you'll be shocked. So I want to challenge every marriage. In my pre-marriage counseling policies and tidbits I use to counsel people when they come for pre-marriage counseling. One, the fellow should be spirit-filled and born again. This is a factual statement, and I will know it by way of asking you certain questions if you really have a personal relationship with the Lord. And two, the fellow should have sound mind.
Yes.
Sound mind is there are so many people in church who do not have sound mind, and it's a fact. They don't have sound mind. Immediately when you hook up with someone who do not have sound mind, that marriage will not last. And then third, love. So I'm not bringing the love first. I check on these two before the love.
Before you attach.
Because someone will love you if he doesn't have sound mind. He will start abusing you.
Yes.
Cheat on you. Do so many things. And it breaks people's hearts. Relationship without loyalty and integrity.
It
will never work. Now our priority that most, I think both spouse, you will see them having it. They think about the materialism. Secularism have projected materialism to be a relationship, and I rejected it. I know definitely when I came here as a missionary, when we got married and my wife came, we did a wedding, whilst I'm here, I brought her from Ghana. I was using bicycle. And she was so pleased with it. Sometimes she would sit at the back of the bicycle and hold my waist. The love of it. And that brings some appetite before the night.
Oh Lord.
But when I have a car and she also has a car, sometimes it takes some time before the appetite is coming. And I remember those old days. Even when we are going to Central, I live in the Burma since I came to the Netherlands. I've been living here in the Burma. My first house is Gravenstein and then moved to Hartford. I started the church and then moving. Then the first hall we have for Church of Pentecost is Ovgis. And those days, when she came and we blessed the marriage, the chairman of Church of Pentecost, Prophet Yebua, it was awesome. And Prophet Yebua was the one that dedicated my wife when she was being born. The first assembly they sent Prophet Yebua Adesu Edragini. My wife's father was the first presiding elder. And that was the first assembly they sent Prophet Yebua to when he was overseer. So my wife, father, and Prophet Yebua became very close friends. So through that, I get a good wife. And I really, really, really cherish it. So I remember those old days. And without car, bicycle, and the peak of it.
Yes, and still the love was strong.
Oh, awesome.
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 Yes. I was trying not to laugh just now. But,
So when you are looking for BM before you marry a guy, forget about it. It won't last. When you are looking for, maybe, some men are looking for women that have papers, forget about it. Choose a woman or a man who is spirit-filled, Christ-centered. That should be your yardstick. and then think of someone. Even make sure, check certain psychological issues. If this guy has psychosis, if this lady has psychosis, and then make sure you take a decision.
Yes.
Because you can judge. A normal guy will not start fighting you whilst you guys are dating. Within a little issue, he will yell at the top of his voice. I've seen so many people like that. Make sure you are on a time bomb. That marriage will not last.
Yes. Well, that is a great advice, and I hope if you're already married, then you can take the advice to better your marriage. But for some of us who are, let's say, unmarried, this is a great opportunity for us to learn the tricks and treats before we step into that.
This is a tidbit.
Yes.
And it has been, you see, if I'm able to marry for 28 to 29 years without no one settle our issue, not a minute, even not the children. They never saw us in the house quarreling, but we do. When they are there, we don't.
Yes.
Even if I offended her, she will keep quiet. Wait when the children were not there, and when we are in the bedroom, and they realize that this is a moment to talk. Oh, I cherish you. So they will say, hey, Ajadu, what you did the other day is not fair. I will look so stupid. One time I did something in the church convention, and it really, the way she handled it, I love it so much.
Yes.
And I will never forget it. But I would like to share it with you.
You share with me.
Yeah.
We will get to that. I still want to know what that is. So, when we talk about early marriages, what are we supposed to look out for? I mean, apart from what you just said, because we are used to, if you say marriages in the church, early marriages, or marriages in the church, does that guarantee success?
Oh yes, marriages in the church can guarantee success if it based on a spirit-filled, sound mind, and love.
That's the only time when it will work.
Then it will work.
Yes.
Definitely it will work.
Because obviously there are also people in the church who would actually look like God-fearing, but once you get closer, you will find out.
I definitely take, for instance, you have a taste. You have a taste. So definitely there's a certain approach that comes to your way, you know this will not work. There are certain ones that you know you can invest in it, definitely it will work.
Yes.
But when you are going to invest in those that is your taste, check on these three pillars. If the guy or the lady is spirit-filled, what I mean is he have a personal relationship with the Lord. Because when he have a personal relationship with the Lord, what guides him or her is the word of God.
Yes.
And he understand when you offended him or her, he understand to forgive you. That is the number two. And then the sound mind, and then love. Okay. Not about house, not about car, not about building.
Yes.
Those do not sustain relationships. It destroy relationships.
Yes. Those are the materialism that we were talking about. Okay, so viewers, we will get to the last segment of this interview, but we're going to handle one question from there, and then we will take a short break, and when we come back, we will continue right where we left off. So, I have 4 questions in total, but I will ask the first one, and then when we come back, we will continue from there. And the first question is, this is something that we've realized. You know, sometimes you have, let's say, a group of people that forms a church. And then for whatever reason, there is misunderstanding or whatever. And then before you know, another church pops up somewhere else with the ones that actually left. And the problem with this is that in most cases, you have then all these small churches. And with that said, sometimes they tend to put on another burden upon themselves. And I think this is one of the main reasons why the Candela was put into place. Now tell me, what how many churches exactly is in the Kandala? And what are some of the challenges that you face trying to manage all these churches and even managing the building itself?
I will start with the first question. You hear people saying the churches are growing too much like mushrooms, and others are saying one-man church. Let me do a little early church history to help you. Every church that starts with one man.
Yes.
So I want us to get it right. Every church that starts. Catholic have no founder. Catholic start with the early apostles. When you come to Presbyterians start with Reverend. And then when you come to Methodists also start with John Wesley. When you come to Anglican start with Henry King IV, because Henry were being excommunicated from the Catholic Church. Let me leave this church history and come. Even Baptists start with Roger. All these churches started with one man.
Yes.
And then they get vision supporters.
Yes.
So every church, even Church of Pentecost, you can see how Anglican started and they excommunicated towards Henry and then they came back and all blah, blah. Church of Pentecost starts through Christ Apostolic. The founder of Church of Pentecost is James McHugh. James McHugh was a missionary sent to Ghana on the ticket of Christ Apostolic.
Yes.
When he was in Ghana, he was in Asamankasi and he just fall sick with fever and cold. But then the Christ Apostolic in Ghana, they don't believe in medication. They believe in divine healing. So they were praying that McHugh will be healed. He's a pastor. And he was not getting healed. So the wife said, well, we believe in medication and we believe in divine healing. He consulted the doctor. He went to Kolebu. They cured the cholera and malaria and fever. Immediately they excommunicate him from the church. So they sack him from apostolic just because he went and seek medication. In that period, Kwame Nkrumah was the president. So when he started, they excommunicate him. The loyal people follow him. And then he also starts Ghana Apostolic Church. So when he started Ghana Apostolic Church, the main apostolic church went to the authorities, the president, and said, well, we want you to deport McHugh. They arranged, McHugh was being deported to Wales. And the conflict is that because Christ Apostolic and Ghana Apostolic, the name is similar, then they forced McHugh to change the name from Ghana Apostolic. And McHugh named Ghana Apostolic the Church of Pentecost. So Church of Pentecost is coming from Christ Apostolic. McHugh was being sacked. And now, if he could have let the vision go, where will you be?
Yes, that's true.
You see? So no church is one man. Every church that starts with one man. And definitely, when he's loyal and faithful to the calling, he will get vision supporters that will support him. I believe every community, every area should have a church. And I quite, acknowledge the point that you are making. 10 people here, 20 people here. It shows a signs of division.
Yeah.
If those 10 and 20 can merge to be more and move on and they don't burden the church, I will agree. But if every community will have a spirit-free church, I will be grateful. Because Catholic, if today we don't have freedom of worship, you know what could have happened? Catholic were putting people in arena and excommunicating them and killing them when you choose another faith than Catholicism.
Yes.
But now we have freedom of worship and nobody can change that. So I'm pleased every community should have a spiritual church.
But would that make sense that every community has their own church, or at least anybody with a vision and feels that they've been called by God, or at least know that they've been called by God, should have their own church, even if they cannot afford the expenses that comes to play when you think about running a church. Because you have to think
it is a calling. And I will never stand on the way of someone who have a inner feeling for a calling. Pentecostalism is not orthodox. Pentecostalism is Christ in you, the hope of glory.
Yes.
And this is factual, whether you believe it or not. The orthodox theology is different from Pentecostalism. So Pentecostalism, that is what the Lord said to the spirit of Joel. He says, in the end days, I'll pour my spirit upon all flesh.
Yes.
So if the fellow is really called by God, challenges can come. But in the near future, he will have a mega church. Ashimolo started his church. It took about 15 years. Nobody knows Ashimolo. 15 years later, Ashimolo church became mega. I don't know if you know this preacher, TDJs. TDJs was over 30-something years in ministry. Nobody acknowledged him. He changed his city. He was not even having 100 members. He moved to Dallas. Now he's a international preacher.
Yes.
With huge congregation.
So if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is that you believe that if somebody feels that they have this calling and it is really the calling of the Lord, then the Lord will make way so that things like these expenses then will be taken care of.
Listen, I'm not saying when it is the Lord who has called you, the challenges will be there, but you will overcome them.
Yes.
And that is fact. Pentecost have their challenges. When I'm starting Church of Pentecost here, can I give you a history? We went to the BU Centrum in August, because when we were worshiping in my house, we don't pay rent. And when we went to the BU Centrum, we have to pay rent. Our offering, the whole offering, a week was 41 guilders. And we have to pay a rent like 200. So I supported it for a while. And then the Lord told me we should move from Hofgis. It's like I'm sitting in a plane and I was sitting near the window. So I watched the ground and I saw like 7,000 feet down. And I hear a voice telling me, jump. Then I said, why? If I jump, I will die. So I wake up in the morning, I share it with my wife. When I came to church, we were in Hofgate and I shared it with the church. That this is the vision I have in a dream. And everybody thought, what is happening? I don't know what happened. The policies of the BU Centrum came down, the church should go out. Then I remember why the Lord revealed that to me. By that time, Kempri 58 was a party center. They normally have parties there. Then I chose to go and rent. And Kempri 58, we're supposed to pay 500 guilders. So 500 guilders with 41 euros. Where will you get the substance from? And all the leadership, the elders around me said, no, 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 no. But I remember the revelation the Lord gave me. And I said, yes. When we went there, the first week, Sunday, when we went there, we had service. The second week, they killed somebody there on Saturday, Kempri 58. They were having party and one Antarian killed one dead. They closed the place. That is how we get Kempri 58. Then the Lord asked me to go and see the mayor. Asked the mayor to write a letter. The mayor gave me a letter that they shouldn't sell the building to anyone apart from Church of Pentecost in Emmanuel, Koney. We worship in the building for 2 years without rent. I gather all the money, collect money from church members. Each member give me 1,000 guilders. Within 2 years, I paid the building fee. So if I could have stopped in Hofgate, will Church of Pentecost be there for you to worship?
God bless you.
Thank you.
Viewers, we're going to take a short break. As you can see, we are getting there gradually, slowly but surely. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
in Holland, I planted them all. At the Church of Pentecost in Belgium, I planted more than 14 assemblies. Church of Pentecost in Australia was my initiative. Answer your question accurately, I have planted more than 70. When I came here as a missionary, I was using bicycle. Sometimes she would sit at the back of the bicycle and hold my waist. And that brings some appetite before the night. If I'm able to marry for 28 without no one settle our issue, not a minute. They never saw us in the house quarrel, but we do. Even if I offended her, she will keep quiet.
Hello viewers, we were just having fun there, but we had to take a quick break. Now we are back, so we're going to continue with the general questions part that we just handled. One of the 4 questions that I had for Pastor Emmanuel Koney. Well, if I may correct myself, I should say Reverend Emmanuel Koney. So, Reverend, another question, which is this African Community Police Dialogue. Now, can you tell me, what are some of the early beginnings of this initiative that I believe you took?
Yes.
And it's no doubt a success story. So can you share with us some of the early stages of it? What made you decide to do this?
Oh, let me canvas this to the community. I happens to be a chaplain in the detention, and I realized the agony, the traumatization most migrants go through. And because of that, I find out that it is a communication problem. My background, I have culture encapsulation. In my culture encapsulation as a Ghana from Lavade, we don't trust the police. And sometimes, to be honest, when your friend being enrolled to be a police, you disown that friend. If he's a family member, you excommunicate him from the family. And because of that culture encapsulation, when I came to Holland, the same encapsulation I was having, I didn't trust the police until I realized that this is a big mistake. Because in communication, somebody code and somebody decode it. And that has caused a lot of confusion and problem to our community. People were jumping from 9th floor and dying just because they are undocumented when the police knock on their door. Let me be a bridge between the community and the police. I'm not a police, but let me be a bridge. And that is the passion that I have. And then I said, well, let me take the initiative. I took the initiative, put commitment in it, and now we are getting the result.
Yes.
To be honest, it is about 8 years now when the dialogue, even the police authorities have testified officially on their dailies, officially, nationally, officially in the European Union. It's now even on our local radio like Rekojin, the Casanuma. Everywhere the commissioner goes, he just testifies on the fact that the dialogue has been a great instrument to the community. All these jumping, killing, police brutality, formerly you will see them on Gazinov when they control your ticket, then they ask for identity. You can see now the community is calm. The reason is through the police dialogue. And I'm grateful to the Dutch police. I'm grateful to the Dutch nation, because there is no police in this world who have a dialogue with undocumented. Yes. No police in this world. Talk less of having dialogue, because the law says you should arrest them. They even don't arrest them, they dialogue with them, eat with them before dialogue.
Yes.
I'm grateful. Through this dialogue, now Brazil police have invited me to initiate the dialogue there. So I'm planning, checking my action plan for this year, and I'll place them in near November. Thailand, you know, the dialogue is no more a local thing. I'm helping them here it is going.
It's becoming international.
No, it is becoming international.
So
I know
you're getting there.
No, I'm already getting there.
You're there.
And I'm so grateful to the community leaders, because without the support of the community leaders, the dialogue will not have the success we are seeing.
Yes.
They really contribute. Some of them, they write most of the articles inviting people. Some of the changes on our flyers, these community leaders are doing it, and we really appreciate them.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think this dialogue is a very important program which needs to continue. So, viewers at home, if you ever get an invitation to attend, please do, because it's for our own benefit.
Our next dialogue is coming on June 2016. We have already done the first one in March 18th. And every year we have 4 dialogues.
Okay.
Now, Utrecht, Den Haag, everybody is calling me for dialogues.
For dialogues, yes.
Sometimes they like my show, but they don't know.
Wow. They like your show. I think we're going to have a show for Reverend Emmanuel Koney, and then I will come on your show.
That would be nice.
Yes, that would be very interesting.
I think you have been at the dialogue before.
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes, I loved it. I liked it very much.
Awesome.
It was very interesting to see that the police was actually communicating.
Now, IND is on our partners list. They also come to the dialogue, give information on migrants that are happening. And you see, sometimes the dialogue fights for social justice, economic justice. You can see what is now happening. The migrants that are coming from Syria, they don't supposed to call them migrants. They should call them refugees. And when they call them refugees, they should give them status.
Yes.
So instead of calling them refugees, they start calling them migrants.
Yes.
And this is a platform we should fight.
Yes.
Because a migrant is not a refugee. A refugee is having problem in his country and he needs a shelter.
Yes.
For safety. Second World War, First World War, they Dutch themselves. They were refugees in Canada, in Australia. Their queen ran away to England. So let's talk about history. They are economic refugees, and it happens to every country.
Yes.
They should accept that. Because nobody would like to stay in Ethiopia, Sudan, and starve and die. So even if the fellow is economic refugee, he deserves to be treated better.
Treated better, yes. I fully agree with you on that. So, on to the next question. You know, generally, Ghanaians are known as hardworking people. At least, you know, from where I come from, we are all very hardworking. But for whatever reason, here in the Netherlands, we are getting marked a little bit. And I see so many youth and child delinquency among the Ghanaian. Why do you think that is?
We have even started, I hear it from the Dutch police, one of our dialogue, previous one, I think in December, and it really breaks my heart. I've been visiting the prison as well, so you see most of her. At the same time, I'm a coordinator to justice for the tax strike. So that is one of my credentials. Officially, I do for justice. So most of these youth who have been first offenders, when they release them from prison, they send them to me. So when you come to the Candela, you will see them, some of them sitting at the Bali, but I don't want people to identify them. Yes. So when you ask me, I'll say they are doing starship. Okay. They are doing their internship. But I'm a coordinator to justice for the task. Some of them, it is just because of peer pressure. I told my son and my daughters, I will be a father to you till death. But when I see you doing any illegal thing, and you deserve the police, I will call the police for you. And when they arrest you and jail you, I will come to the prison every day you needed me. I will visit you as a father. I won't disown you, because my fatherhood towards you is for life.
Yes.
But I hate the attitude you are doing. 2, the parents see some of their children coming home with jackets, 1,000 euros, and you know the income of the child. A young guy bought a car of 50,000. As a parent, you should ask your child, where do you get the money from? There's one case I'm treating. The guy went to Skipo to Rolex shop and bought a watch for 30,000. Where do you get the money from? So if I'm a father to this child, I will immediately ask you. And if you don't tell me, I will call the police. Please arrest him, interrogate him, and make sure when there is any illegal findings, complain him, put him in jail. If we are all doing that as parents,
yes,
these child delinquencies will stop. But some of us, we are corporates to the children. We even encourage them.
I think, you have the parents who are actually, let's say, encouraging their children.
I say some, not
to
all.
Some, yes. And then you have the other ones who are too overprotective, that motherly or fatherly love, it goes to some certain extent that, like you're saying, if I see you're doing this, I will call the police myself to come and carry go. Some people, they will not do that because it's their child, it's their own.
Listen, if you love, the Bible even said it. When you use a whip on your child, that shows a sign of love.
Yes.
I know the rules of Holland, you don't have to whip your child. But there's a way to do it. These are the signs. And I've told my children my stand. And now they know. They are born in Amsterdam Southeast, which is called the Bible. Raise them here. Grace 25, Eunice 23, Junior 21. And they have no record of crime. Not one. Even I put my money in the table. They seize it. They won't carry 1 cent without asking me. That is a sign. The training I've given them, because I've already declared my stand and define who I am to them. As a parent, listen, if I see you, even if you steal my wallet money, I will call the police to arrest you. Yeah, because I didn't give it to you.
That's some level of discipline.
Yeah, that is the level of discipline. And I still love them and cherish them. Yes. When we have to go on holiday, I carry them to you. We travel everywhere we go on holidays. As a father, I'm responsible. But at the same time, I have to chastise my son or daughter.
Yes, that is very good. And I think this is the kind of upbringing that some may need so that they will be put back on the right track. So, another interesting thing that I came across, which is actually a program that I went to myself and I was invited to. And at this program, they were talking about the high level of poverty in the community, as in amongst Ghanaians. Now, as I was sitting there, I was a bit shocked because I know my people and I see what my people do. We are far from poor.
Yes.
So I was a bit confused. How does this happen? How does it get to the extent that it's on record that amongst Ghanaians,
our priorities is our priorities, and the Dutch judge by their central system. So through the central system, they have a record that most Ghanaians are taking unemployment benefits.
Yes.
And with the unemployment benefits, recently there are measures, they go to the houses, and most Ghanaians who are taking unemployment benefits, they won't like to put a flat TV in the house. They would like to put some nice chairs and wear some lace like you are wearing, your combination, white and white and black and all that. They show their outlook as a sign of poverty.
Yes.
So that the system can take care of them. Maybe those reasons the system cannot capture. But the joy Ghanaians have, they are not poor.
No.
No, never will they be.
Amen.
Most of Ghanaians that I know are doing well. They are putting on build mansions. And the authorities can listen. It happens. They also travel to other countries, go exploit the country and bring the money to the other Netherlands. Why don't we also do the same? So Ghanaians are not poor. We are rich.
Physically, spiritually, and
we are everywhere. Socially, economically, mentally, everywhere we are rich.
Amen. I received that. Now, Pastor, There is another issue which I find also very interesting to talk about here today, and that is us as a community forming a common platform where we can deal with all Ghanaian issues. Now, I'm aware that you are the chairman that is handling this at this point. Can you tell me a bit more into details about this platform, and when can we expect it to be in place, and if there are any challenges?
Oh, great. The initiative of Kogan, those who initiate it, I would really give them applause. It is a great platform because Kogan covers all Netherlands, representing all Ghanaians in the Netherlands, and I really cherish the vision. But along the line, there are some challenges, and it is a fact. I believe the organization that exists, some think Kogan is a threat. They are coming to take their position. And I've been able, with the planning committee members, meet all those divisions and trying to reconcile them and have Kogan as a platform. By so doing, we find out that the challenges that is disturbing Kogan is just because of these individual organizations. And we must be honest to it. Recording is thinking they represent Ghanaians. And there are other organizations in Rotterdam, Den Haag, who says they don't know Recording. Akasanuma is also there, said they represent Ghanaians or they do work here. Akasanuma also is in Amsterdam, and they are not in Den Haag or Rotterdam or Dordrecht and Breda. Recording, Akasanuma, all the individual organizations, they are doing well, but we want them to do better, and they will do better when Kogan is being formed. Because Kogan is going to be an umbrella organization that will represent all Ghanaians in the Netherlands. Then we have a challenge from Recording that Kogan, when he's being registered to have organization under him, will disturb Recording. And I find it well, fine. But the target of Kogan should cover all Ghanaians. I have a mandate from the planning committee and the interim secretary to make sure all these differences, I bring them together. And as a leader, I must be honest, we are almost done. 90% of the job is done.
Okay.
We decided to make sure we have election on March 6th. But because of 1-2 reasons, some of our community members were traveling and things like that, it couldn't happen. And now, after the Easter, we will resume and finalize it. We want Ghanaians to choose their leadership.
Yes.
We want Ghanaians to choose their leadership. We don't want anyone to just hold Ghanaians captive and say, because I belong to organization A, and I have loggerheads with organization B. I don't want to be part of Kogan. Kogan is there for all Ghanaians in respect, because we have membership from Leeuwarden, somebody from Rotterdam in our platform now. We have someone from Den Haag, we have someone from Breda, and we are trying to form Kogan to represent, because that is the vision from the interim executive, Kogan to represent all Ghanaians.
Yes.
The last challenge is between, will Kogan be a foundation or association? Because a foundation don't have members, but association have members. And we went to the Chamber of Commerce, we did a feasibility studies, and I personally do some due diligence on the job. And I've realized that if it happens that we are relying on organization, there are certain organizations, they exist 10 years. Now they don't exist anymore.
No.
But new Ghanaians are coming in.
Yes.
And recently there's a Ghanaian who died in Rotterdam. There's no Ghanaian organization to represent. The police in Rotterdam calls me If we have a platform like Kogan, they will call Kogan. They won't call me.
No.
They didn't call one of the organizations in Amsterdam because they don't know them. The police or the authorities there, they don't know them. Anyone who claims that the organization is representing Ghanaians, we don't have a problem. Kogan, the ambassador, everybody knows Kogan is coming as a platform to represent Ghanaians all over Poland.
All over, yes.
Period.
All of us together as one.
As one.
Yes.
And these divisions must stop.
Yes.
I must be honest, these divisions must stop. I, for one, the ethics of my job do not allow me to be part of this. But I sense that if I'm not making sure that Kogan succeed, where will my children be?
Yes.
I have a dual nationality. I have a Ghanaian passport and I have a Dutch passport. In my time, when I get a Dutch passport, you don't renounce your nationality. And I still have. My children also have Ghana passport in them. At the same time, if I'm dead and gone, 10 years by now, where will I be? I'm now 53 years. 10 years by now, where will I be? My bones will be rotten. If we don't find a future, these child delinquencies that is happening in our community, if we have a great platform who can address this, it will have solved the problem.
Yes.
But we have none. The Moroccans have their own. The Turkish have their own. Why can't Ghanaians have our own? The Surinamese have their own. Why should we allow division, infighting, personal interest to destroy what will be very beneficial to our whole community and nation? I'm pleading with everybody. If you're a Ghanaian, you belong to Kogan.
Yes.
And Kogan represents all Ghanaians, not organization, all Ghanaians.
Well,
Period.
that is being said and well said, and it's clear. We need unity, and that's the only way forward, because that's the only way we are going to get there. Yeah, Pastor, we've come to the end of this interview, but I mean, I have you at my expert. So, is there any other advice, anything else on your mind that you would like to share with us, share with the viewers, share with the younger ones coming, anything at all?
My advice to the Ghanaian community and the viewers out there, if you give me a little audience, I will just share this. We should love ourselves as Africans. We should be proud we are Africans, and we should be there for one another. The second one, we should give each other the space. What I mean, each other the space. If you know you are good at writing, and I know that, I should acknowledge you. If I know you can do something for the community to move forward, I shouldn't just bite you. I should allow you to do it. And the way you did the interview, you are really, excellent. You can even do interview in CNN and BBC. As a jury, I can even hire you. These they can hire you. Because this girl I saw one time in Algeria, your presentation is better than her.
Amen.
So these are the things we should cherish. Give each other a space to move on, rather than fighting each other and destroying our identity for the community. And I believe we have to take the community at heart and move the community forward. We are doing well, but I want us to do better.
Yes. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, viewers.
Now, viewers, we've come to the end of this maiden episode of the renewed Footprints. And as you can see, everything else is really new. And I'm excited about this new challenge. Please stay tuned. Don't forget Footprints on Soulhour TV. And also, in addition, as you can see, since everything else is new, I look new as well. And that is all because I got a fabulous treatment from the one and only Bill Miller, the person that did my makeup and hair today. So if you will need her number, a name, everything will be shown beneath, and you can contact her anytime you need for every occasion. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned with us till we come your way again the next time. Thank you.
In Holland, I planted them all. At the Church of Pentecost in Belgium, I planted more than 14 assemblies. Church of Pentecost in Australia was my initiative. Answer your question accurately, I have planted more than 70. When I came here as a missionary, I was using bicycle. Sometimes she would sit at the back of the bicycle and hold my waist. And that brings some appetite before the night. If I'm able to marry for 28 without no one settle our issue, not a minute. They never saw us in the house quarrel, but we do. Even if I offended her, she will keep quiet.